BigHMW.com, world headquarters at Bishop Park. This is the Atari Report, 7800 edition with Ray Jackson. Good evening, everybody. On this edition of the Atari Report, we take a look at an all-new port of a 1980s sci-fi shoot-'em-up classic. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Decrescenzo's UniWarS for the Atari 7800 Pro system. Yes, indeed, and what a way to kick off the initial voyage of the 7800 edition of the Atari Report than with this classic here from Bob Decrescenzo for 1980, UniWarS for the Atari 7800 Pro system. Of course, also known as UniWarS. You may know Bob Decrescenzo in the Atari Age forums as the username Pac-Man Plus, but he did more than just Pac-Man here, ladies and gentlemen. Here is a stroke of genius right here, I gotta tell you. The graphic elements you can see already are arcade quality and high class at that too. I mean, you wouldn't even think you were playing it on a video game system from the 1980s until you actually do play it. It is 1980s arcade quality all the way through, and I was quite impressed. You know, that's why I got a 7800 Pro system and a Concerto multi-cart to go along with it in order to be able to experience games like this. I gotta tell you, you can't find games like this on any other gaming system out there, and I gotta tell you, it's well worth it. 2 thumbs up all the way for this particular game. I just wish though that in this first wave here, that the enemy missiles might be a little more visible in some cases. I mean, obviously they're hard to pick up here, but they're great. They're visible. They're visible enough, but I lose a lot of enemy ships in the first wave because somehow, some way, I can't really pick up the enemy fire as they're coming down at me. That seems to be a little bit of a drawback, but not much, and I can deal with it. But I gotta tell you, the graphics are right up there. I gotta tell you, graphics are right up there. And here's what happens when you go on the next wave. Obviously, you go into a warp, ready for the second wave, and then it gets interesting. It gets really interesting because you've got these enemies you've got to contend with as well as they all progress throughout each wave of invaders you have to zap by. And yeah, they just keep coming, don't they? And they materialize out of nowhere, so you're building up all sorts of enemies on the screen, and obviously it shows a lot of a challenge in there. I gotta tell you, I'm quite impressed. I wasn't able to figure it out, but obviously this game system is well worth it. This game is well worth it. Like I said, 2 thumbs up. But Bob Decrescenzo has put out a lot of great games over the years. He put out Pac-Man Collection. He put out this. And most recently, he has ported Galaxian for the Atari 7800 Pro system as well. Most recently. And I will soon be reviewing that as well here in the Atari Report. But there you go. It's a beautiful game. Well, guys, what do you think? I gotta tell you, Bob Decrescenzo has an absolute winner on his hands. 2 thumbs up for this game, and it's only a work in progress. It will get better, I gotta tell you. And hopefully my gameplay will get better too on this particular game as well. After I've only owned the 7800 Pro system for 2 months. And of course, I'm new to the 7800 as well as the XE game system that I also picked up most recently. As we promised already, we're going to jack it up with more content on more platforms than ever before. And the 7800 is one of those, and this game is one of those as well. But I got to tell you, if you want to download the game for yourself, you go to AtariH.com, you click the link down below on this video, and I'll take you right to it. If you want to follow the subject matter of this particular game on Atari H forums, I'll send you a link to that too, and you can follow along so you can download all the updates of this terrific work in progress. 2 thumbs up all the way. I just wish though that in the first wave that the enemy missiles coming down at me would be a little bit more visible. They looked a little faint to me. Basically, I lose a lot of enemy ships because of it, as you can see about poor gameplay. But it'll get better, and so will my gameplay as well. 2 thumbs up all the way for this one. Well, that's game over for this edition of the Atari Report. So for all of us here at BigHMW.com World Headquarters, I'm Ray Jackson, wishing you good gaming and good night.